and I'll carry that. I guess I put it over now to the new chair.
I think you turn it over to the new chair, do you not, Madam Chair?
Yep, I did say that. Maybe you didn't hear me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry about that.
Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight and taking on this big responsibility of selecting our executive for 2022. And we do.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate you doing that for us. And it's an independent person and it works out very well. So thank you. So members, I'll just move on now to the agenda. But before I go on to the regular agenda, I just have some brief comments to make to the board and to the public. First of all, I want to thank the board for their acclamation tonight. I take this job very seriously, and I look forward to working with staff and most important with this board during this next term. And before I would also like to address issues and opinion pieces that we've seen in the Hamilton Spectator and letters to the board. And reading through those letters, I know they are all passionate about the environment and natural areas. So I would like to address at this time just some of their concerns. A number of them have stated that we are bulldozing over or paving wetlands. And unfortunately, I never saw one example because I'm not aware of one. I don't know how that message got out there, but it's too bad it did. And if someone has an example, I would love to hear from you to find out what it is. In fact, we are building new wetlands at our Saltfleet site right now. One is under construction and more are planned. There was an allegation by a columnist that we are shrinking our natural areas. Well, in fact, we added 177 acres of natural land in 2021 to our current 11,000 acre ownership. There was a lot of discussion in those correspondence and in the opinion pieces about our offsetting policy. And just for everyone's benefit, and 3 conservation authorities already have one. The province has developed, or has allowed developers to appeal conservation authority decisions to the Ontario Land Tribunal. It's a new adjudication group that's been set up by the province of Ontario, formerly the OMB, and LPAT, Local Property Appeals Tribunal. So they're on their 3rd name right now. So I challenged our staff as your board chair, should we control our own destiny with our own offsetting policy or let the Ontario Land Tribunal do it? So that was my challenge. And we went through a draft policy on offsetting, put it out for public consultation, and then got a final report back from our staff to the board. And at the end, staff felt the OLT, the Ontario Land Tribunal, should be the one to make these kind of decisions. We're a group that's passionate about our wetlands and passionate about conservation, so we decided not to touch that. In fact, the board voted unanimously to accept their recommendation, being the staff recommendation, not to have an offsetting policy. And of course, being unanimous, it included my support. Now, just to bring everybody up to speed, the developers at 140 Garner Road has now appealed to the Ontario Land Tribunal our decision, and that should be heard sometime in 2022. The letters also suggested I support job and tax revenue over conservation. And I'll just open up by saying I do not apologize for saying we need tax relief and jobs in Hamilton. Hamilton's largest tax source right now is on residential properties. Right now, approximately 85% of our tax revenue comes from residential and 15% from industrial and commercial. Finance staff consistently letting us know, by finance staff, I mean city finance staff, are consistently telling us we need more industrial taxes are needed. And the reason for that is to provide relief to the residential taxpayer. And the city is going in that direction with recent investments in the Red Hill Industrial Park, the Ancaster Industrial Park with the new Cormorant Road now finished. And now what's coming on stream is the airport and Plymouth Growth District, where smoke services are now at the site. Also, tens of thousands of people in Hamilton drive or take a train to Toronto every day. They do that to go to work. Those jobs should be in Hamilton. But let me make it very clear. I have not and will not compromise conservation as chair of the HCA. It is our job to protect our watershed.